this is the amount of basil that I cut off of it. This beauty, this very, very large now plant, and for reference, that's my hand. This plant is a basil plant, which is very old now. Very, very old. And I wanted to show how I prune it. So I'm going to use this amount of basil that I have as a really good example of how to trim it. Now, see how it's separating to the left and right? Leaf, leaf, another nodule, leaf, leaves on the other side, another sit over here, and then it ends. So if you pretend, hey Trapper, if you pretend that this is coming right off the plant, you'll go to the first place where there's a nodule for the leaf, leaf. You'll cut just above it with a clean pair of scissors, and then all of this would be basil you keep. Then from here, it would split in how it grows, and you would get a bushier plant instead of a tall and lanky plant that it was happening when I didn't cut it. Now, because I've cut it back and I've taken this section off, my plant will get bushier and bushier as opposed to continuing to grow up and up and up. And as you can see clearly from this length of pieces that I hadn't given the basil plant a haircut in a very long time. This is the basil plant after it's had a haircut. That is how much of it came off. That's my hand. So I have a lot to clean up, cut off all the leaves. What I like to do is put them in a salad spinner, fill it with water, shake it around, pull this out, strain the water, and then spin them. I find that to be the best and most efficient way of cleaning them. And then when I have extra, I give it away to friends, or I freeze it just once it's all completely dried out. I spin it a whole bunch, and sometimes I'll let it sit for a day and then spin it in the fridge, and then spin it again, and that is the best way to get all the water off. The key to having your basil plant last as long as possible, so it can give you as much delicious basil as possible and save you a whole bunch of money at the grocery store by not having to buy fresh herbs, is when you see these little flowers pop up, you need to pinch it off. These are the little bits of the flower budding starting that I took off. Just pinch them off. Sometimes leaves will come off with them, but that's okay. As you get to know your plant better and better, you'll start to realize it's growing at an earlier stage. But if you pinch it off successfully, you'll keep the plant from going to a woody flavor, and that will let it last longer. I call that a savvy frugal win.